As requested, the Lego Fortnite grain silo. Hello, my name is Flocka, and I know your farms are looking a little bare, and you're probably wondering, how can I possibly add anything onto this? Well, I'm here to make it even better, because for the last few days since the update, all I've been doing is working to bring you guys the ultimate Lego Fortnite survival farm. And in that process, we went ahead and created a beautiful grain silo that not only looks amazing and adds excellent height to whatever you're doing, but also can store your grain on the inside. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how I built this. I also built it at an angle just to add a little flair. So if you want to do this and you wanna start building stuff at an angle, just pay attention closely. You're gonna wanna put two regular posts next to each other, corner to corner, not side by side, and then take any of the dynamic foundations and you're gonna place it and then push it so that it's flush up with those corners. Doing this, you can take any foundation and move it away from the dynamic foundation and place it down, and it'll place at the angle. From here, if you've placed it away from the dynamic foundation and not on, you should be able to remove all of those initial pieces and your build should stay in place. I went ahead and threw some foundations down for this silo because we're building on uneven ground and I want to make sure that these pillars go in nice and fast. I was trying to get this tutorial up as quickly as possible. My survival one was built on uneven ground, so it looks really cool and it was hard to build, but I recommend maybe just building a foundation anyways. It looks just fine. So you're gonna take the 4x4 sidewalk foundation and make a cross in the middle of whatever you're doing. You're gonna take the corners and you're gonna fill it in, and it's gonna make this perfect rounded square. Now, in terms of height, you can go up anywhere from 4 to 6, I found looks pretty good. And then you're gonna want to make the pillars on the outside about 2 foundations away from the top of the middle pillar. So to get this started, you're gonna go to any of the corners and you're gonna place the sidewalk piece with the point facing out, and then you're gonna complete the circle, moving to the flat part of the center post. You're gonna put another one of those circle foundations there, and you're just gonna wrap this thing around and you're gonna bring it all the way up 3 or however high you are building your silo. Now, I do recommend 4 or 5 high for that center post and doing 3 for these outside silos, because you're gonna wanna add storage later, and you're definitely gonna wanna add a campfire to this when you see how dark it is at night. Now, you can leave it dark, but personally, I think it just looks better when it's lit up a little bit. To the next part, palatial pillar 1, and you're gonna put 2 high all the way to the top, and you're gonna go all the way around. And then you're gonna take the original sidewalk foundation, pinch those pillars, bring those all the way around as well, and do the corner foundations and put them just like this. So they're not flush with the corners, but they do leave a little bit of room, and I think it still looks good. We then add wooden lanterns. This is optional, but I don't like things being so dark. We then took our foundations and threw them all the way up to the top. So in terms of materials, mostly just granite for this, guys, as we build the rest of the foundation of the grain silo. Now for the roof, we went with a medieval hip. These are for anyone that doesn't have the Durburger set or doesn't have an eye for a different sort of silo top. This is what I went with. There are different types of silo tops. Usually they don't have roofs, but for this, I went with it. I think it still looks really good. You're gonna see what it looks like next to the farm later on anyways. This is a little extra. If you don't wanna add storage on to your silo, you definitely don't have to. But if you are, make sure you're destroying these foundations exactly the way you see me doing it. Busting open the first cylinder and then breaking the entire middle piece. You see how I opened it up? And from this point, we're gonna open up the sections where the chests are gonna go. So we're gonna take off the foundations on the right, the middle, and the left. And from the outside, you can't even tell that you've done this. From here, we're gonna be able to fit 4 chests in. But before we do that, we need a place for that campfire. So making a cross with these floor pieces, we're gonna give ourselves a cheeky spot to sneak in this campfire and hide it. And then once we get the campfire up there, we're gonna take the square acres floor or any floor piece, it doesn't really matter, and just hide that like that. And then take our grand chests, put those down right, center, and left, and we're gonna spread out 6 chests in here. I think if you wanted to, you could remove another half silo of room on each side and maybe slip in 2 more chests. I never tested it. I don't think it would collapse. I don't think the structure would fall over. I'm pretty sure it's all pretty stable. So as much of the inside you want to strip out and as much storage you want to add, you definitely can go and do that. Now for the entrance of my silo, I just went with whatever door would fit. I think it's called like the noble door or whatever. And then I just threw a square piece floor down and some pillars, and then got rid of the foundation so that I could create an entrance that worked. And this is what I kind of came up with. We then put some lamps down, which placed diagonally because we placed the silo diagonally and the lamps weren't latched to the original build. So I think that added a really cool touch. But yeah, here we are, the Lego Fortnite grain silo. If you guys have any suggestions or anything to add, please let me know in the comments, because man, did this ever happen quickly. I just threw this thing up in like 5 seconds. I painted it in my head and went, okay, here we go. And this is what it turned into. I think it's beautiful. I think you could make larger silos. I think you could make industrial silos using these pieces. But I'm gonna leave that to everyone else. Here's what it looks like next to some other farm items like the barn and the pen that I had created in creative mode for the other video. I think it looks great. I added some texture too. So, you know, you can play around with it and make it look really good in your farms. So, my name is Flocka. I worked really hard on this. So if you, no, I did not work really hard on this. I'm lying. Please just give me a like though. That would be really cool. I'll catch you in the next one.